And we are back. Pokemon Emerald, Hardcore Nuzlocke, only using grass types this time around. However, this Lairon wanted to get in on the action. It is a shiny, so we go ahead and secure that to put it in the PC. Shine on, little buddy. All right, we got absolutely destroyed by the 8th and final gym leader, losing 2 out of our 8 possible Pokemon. So it is time to take on Wally in Victory Road. He challenges you at the beginning instead of the end, like in Ruby and Sapphire. So the Altaria comes down. We throw out our personal duckling here. The Ludicolo comes in with a 4 times super effective Ice Beam. Beautiful stuff. Way to get the party started. And now the Rosalia comes down. We are unable to use him in this run because, again, Ruby and Sapphire exclusive. Emerald fails to mention the double bouquet bundle here as we get Toxic Poison. Petalburg is hurting. We go for a second Ice Beam. It's not enough to finish the job. And Wally gets the heal, but can this one do it? It leaves him with just a sliver left, and we're hurting from the Toxic. We go ahead and put him down before he gets out of hand. So that is 2 down, 3 to go. The Gardevoir is definitely the scariest Pokemon we need to worry about here. The Delcatty is out and about, and now the Toxic is really going to shred. So we can potentially pivot into someone who can tank a weak Feint Attack or something like that and maybe set up on the Delcatty. So Slayport comes in and is going to do just that. The Feint Attack comes down for a little bit of chip off the top. Really hardly any damage. Delcatty is not a great Pokemon. No offense, little buddy, but she is not as we put her to sleep. And now potentially just going to ramp up with Rustboro, our Breloom, but it wakes up on the next turn, which is just unfortunate. Another not very effective Feint Attack comes down. So this is going to be prime time to set up. It's just opening the window enough to be able to do so. So we're probably not going to be able to get more than 1 or 2 bulk ups in, but I think that'll be just enough. I think it'll be just what we need to finish the last 3 Pokemon. So we land another Sleep Powder, absolutely clutching with the Slateport here. Vileplume. Breloom comes down, gets 1 bulk up in, and can we get 2 is the question. It does look like it. 2 comes down. A Mach Punch should be able to finish Ducati, no problem. Another Feint Attack comes down, but it does hardly any damage. The Mach Punch does connect, super effective and stab. Beautiful stuff. That just leaves 2 Pokemon, and Gardevoir comes down. But we come in with a Silk Scarf boosted return off of a +2 bulk up, and it is enough to take down the ace. Beautiful stuff there. Tip your hat to Breloom as he fades away with a stab, super effective Mach Punch, and Wally is defeated. All right, without further ado, it is time to break open the doors of the Elite Four. But first, let's just look at the PC and see who we left on the table, and then give one final overlook on our team going in. So we got the Shine On here, the Lairon, the shiny Lairon at the very end of Victory Road. Very cool. I was tempted to upgrade him to an Aggron, but we had more pressing matters on the table as the Shiftry and Cacturne both fell to Juan. That silly Kingdra. I really need to just go back to the drawing board and just figure out a strat that can just completely one-up the Kingdra as I got destroyed. He always crits me. This time he didn't have Sniper as a passive, but he still crit me. So I just love to put myself into these precarious situations. However, we still have 6 Pokemon on the table. Breloom, Sceptile, the Ludicolo. We got the Vileplume. We've got Cradily and the Tropius. So it's still a solid team. But you're going to see in this second Elite Four, I have a really bad feeling we have 0 super effective moves. That's right, 0 super effective moves, no dark type moves, no ghost type moves. No one could learn Shadow Ball. We lost both Shiftry and Cacturne, who could have easily swept through Phoebe's team. So it is going to be a slog fest, but let's go ahead and just take care of business with Sydney first. Let's do it. All right, Sydney comes down leading with the mighty Ina here. We just check out Rustboro, take a -1 off the top with an Intimidate, but I don't think it's going to matter with our ridiculously high physical attack stat on top of stab super effective damage. It's just insane. And then if we don't kill, we can just easily get a bulk up in while Sydney heals. So the Ace Absol comes down and eats the Brick Break as well. We leveled everyone up to the Salamence level cap of Drake. And then we also got a little cheeky and put the EXP bar all the way to the end just so we could get a little bit of help there because I am quite nervous going into this run. This is our 7th attempt as Rustboro completely fades with another Brick Break and a fadeaway critical. You'll love to see it. This is our 7th attempt here, and I mean, if we lose, we're going all the way back, but coming this far has really shown me how much it takes to beat this challenge, and I would so love just to win on this run right here. So let's keep that in mind as we go and take on Phoebe. All right, second member of the Elite Four, focusing primarily on ghost types. Again, one more time for the record, we have no item or no Pokemon that has super effective damage, so we are just going to go for the Leech Seed Cheese. And as you can see, the Dusclops is protecting and sidestepping. And then I go to click it one more time and I'm like, whoa, we're running out of moves there. What's going on? And I completely forget that Dusclops has pressure as a passive, and we vanilla wafer every single leech seed and he protects. It looked like one or two of them. And now I have no leech seed on the table, so we just go ahead and go to the second part of the plan. Okay, we're not going to get any healing. Slateport always clutches with that sleep powder. Yes, she does. Gets the Dusclops to sleep, and then I'm like, okay, so as far as ramping up, we have the Fortree, we have Tropius in the back. That's not going to, okay, that's going to be something here, but Dusclops goes ahead and wakes up on the first turn. We get two gross in, and that's not going to do much against a big, beefy Dusclops. I mean, it's going to do more than nothing, but the confusion comes down, and we are all or nothing at this point. We are going all in for the third growth. That is also getting the pressure, but the curse comes down, and that is going to be taking away almost like a belly drum pop right there to half health. And I'm like, okay, we need to get this show on the road. And Fortree does clutch through the confusion, still above 50% on our side of things, and we get rid of the Dusclops. So that's good. And can we sweep with that, though? Can we get through? And the ace comes down to level 51 Dusclops, and we get another monster curse proc. And I don't have any defensive buff. On top of that, we're really slow. So if we can't one-shot this big fella, we lose Fortree the Tropius. So we're going to have to pivot into Petalburg, our Duckling, to tank the Ice Beam, as it's the only one who can take the neutral damage. And that definitely would have killed Tropius on further inspection. But we get frozen upon the switch. So not only do we miss every Leech Seed and it gets gone by the pressure ability, we get frozen on switching in and cannot get unfrozen. This is disgusting. This is just so disrespectful. I am feeling Juan right over there in the corner watching from his dead body. That is super dark, but I can feel him, the Kingdra lurking, and everything is going out the window. No more Leech Seed. The Duckling is gone. That is going to be our best pivot, as it takes neutral damage from those super effective Ice Beams that go to the rest of the team. So we go all in, checking out Slateport, who does eat a super effective, or a special defense drop from the Shadow Ball, I should say. And now we're scared of the super effective Ice Beam, but we clutch yet another Sleep Powder. This Vileplume, this Flower in Disguise is clutching, is giving us hope when there is none. And now we can't do that many more times, because all it takes is one crit with the Ice Beam, as we've seen. And if we lock in Petal Dance, we can't break out of it. So this is such a decision. I really wish we would have given Slateport Giga Drain, so we could have kind of microed that a little bit better, but we ended up giving it to the Ludicolo. So just really bad decision making overall. And it's just rather embarrassing, honestly. It is regrettable, but can we pull out a fortune cookie? Can we do something here to wiggle our way out of this without losing anybody? I'm not sure. I'm checking the stats. That moveset looks awesome, but is it really even that good? Not in this situation. So I do believe we are going to go all in on the Cradily, who has access to Amnesia, can get that special defense proc up. Confuse Ray, we might be able to get some lucky rolls with that. Ancient Power, maybe an all or nothing buff on that if we have enough HP. Maybe a poison from the Sludge Bomb. We're really grasping at straws here, but I don't really know what else to do other than lock in a Petal Dance and hope we don't get stuck with, stuck right there in front of the Dusclops, where he can just slap us and send us home. So this is ridiculous. If we keep Breloom alive, we should be able to sleep the third member no problem with the bulk up strategy. So we're going all in. Slateport's like, I will take this into my own hands. Goes for the Petal Dance. It's only 70 damage in Gen 3 though, and it's not enough to kill the Dusclops in 2 hits. Dusclops gets a Citrus Berry for reprieve, and I am feeling grim. I am feeling the darkness creep in. We could not get a fadeaway critical. Dusclops holds on in the red, gets a monstrous Ice Beam, and Slateport is clinging to the berry. It's just an Oran Berry, as I did not prepare the berries. We only had 1 or 2 Confusion Berries, and I wanted to keep them for later just in case. some cheese came down the line, but really I didn't realize this was going to be such an obstacle, and we are seeing that firsthand as a full restore gets the beefy Ace Dusclops back to full, and this is trouble. This is absolute trouble. Confuse Ray comes down, hoping to keep the team safe. Can Dusclops just pimp slap himself in the face? And no, she cannot, as another super effective Ice Beam comes down. This moveset is immaculate. I should know. I used Dusclops in one of my last Gen 3 runs. He is such a beefy tank with a beautiful moveset, and there is a critical hit Ice Beam, and there is nothing. There is just nothing left here. You can Amnesia to the heavens. It doesn't matter. The Shadow Ball will go through anyway because it's physical in this gen, and I do believe with that crit Ice Beam, someone is going down. But forget someone going down. Are we even going to get out of here with anyone intact? Because a couple, maybe stall out the Ice Beam if we can, but like one more crit, one more freeze, and this is all over. If I would have known, I would have just put an Aspire Berry or the Freeze Berry on the Ludicolo just in case this happened. And I didn't even think about getting stuck against the Ace Dusclops. I really thought we could have ramped up with the Leech Seed, with the growth, with the Tropius, but I am so bad at planning for plan B and plan C, especially in an only grass run. You've got to have more on the table going in, so we go all in for a Sludge Bomb, Poison on top of the Confusion. Dusclops breaks out. We barely tank the Shadow Ball, and that makes me think, hey, maybe he's out of Ice Beam, but really it's just our health bar is so low. He figured he could go for anything he wanted or she wanted. And now I'm just like, maybe we get Rustboro back out there, who cannot hit anyone because it only has fighting and grass type moves. And because TMs aren't reusable, you can't really do anything with that. So it's just a mess. It's an absolute mess as we tank a not very effective Earthquake. The bulk up comes down. Do you have any more Ice Beams? Yes, you do. And she slaps us in the face with yet another one. We're going to get another Oranberry for Reprieve because we had a bunch of those stocked up in the back. Why not? And now the only one not bleeding out is the Sceptile, and this is all for naught. And I do believe we're going to stall one more turn, and we're going to sacrifice the Cradily. We are going to give away this beautiful fossil Pokemon. Fall Arbor comes down, eats a fadeaway Ice Beam. We'll never know what it's like to be level 56, but dies for the rest of his friends. Absolutely ridiculous, and that gives us a turn to squeak in with our Vileplume to get one Protect in, to get rid of that Ice Beam power point. Then we get a Moonlight to get a massive heal, and the Vileplume is standing in front of its teammate saying, I will be the one. I will do this. And Slateport tanks another Ice Beam, and we're going back for a Protect Cheese, get rid of these Ice Beams to keep the team safe, to figure out what in the world we are doing. I rarely go in for stall strats, but my goodness, it is calling for it, and that does mean the Dusclops is out of Ice Beam. So we clutch yet another Sleep Powder. This Vileplume is seizing MVP right now, if we can even make it out of this, and we can still lean into the Petal Dance. However, it does lock us in, so that is a little bit tipsy. But Slateport is going to be our saving grace. She's beefy enough to swap into, and the utility is ungodly, and we still do have a damaging move on her if all else fails, but we can't heal anyone else. We can't heal up the Rustboro. We can't heal at Fortree, and really the biggest tragedy is we can't heal Petalburg, the Duckling, the Ludicolo, who could really help us out here. So I think we're just going to roll it again with the Petal Dance, and then maybe try to thread in a crit, or just set up to where we can get Little Root out there, or we're just going to go all in on the Sceptile and see if we can blitz down the Dusclops while she is sleeping, and that is what we're doing. My gosh, this is insanity. We're going to go all in for the Stab Leaf Blade. We are letting her go. I'm going to get a quick drink break here. Goodness gracious. As Dusclops lives with 1 HP, what is this mindless violence? We tank a not very effective Earthquake, though, no problem, and we fade away with the Leaf Blade. Beautiful stuff. Little Root wanting that level 56 club here. Bayonet comes down, and can we just get another Leaf Blade? And I do believe I am about to make another crucial mistake as Bayonet teases us with a Grudge, and I'm like, oh, you got a Grudge, bro. That's cute. And I go all in with the Leaf Blade, completely forgetting what Grudge does because I am a Pro Nuzlocker, and Grudge is going to get rid of the rest of our Leaf Blade procs. And I'm going to be like, okay, look at this. We have the Miracle Seed on the Sceptile, so not only was it high crit chance and stab, it was also buffed. And look at this, the Earthquake gets Sableye to half, but can we finish? Little Root, can we do it? We literally get a fadeaway critical to bring us from the ashes, and that only leaves the Bayonet. However, it's going to be an easy 2-shot with Leaf Blade. We have Earthquake. That's our second best, and it's not going to be enough. So now, instead of just cleaning out the Bayonet with 2 shots, we are stuck in this situation again. We do have Slateport to swap into. Petalburg's probably dead on swap. Tropius dead on swap. The Bayonet comes in with a Stab Shadow Ball, which actually hits pretty well because Bayonet is better physical in this gen. My goodness, what are we doing here? We go for the Protect, and it does have a super effective Psychic, which is special attack, so it's not going to lead into the big stat that the Bayonet has, and we are just flirting. We're looking at the stats. Can we tank this? Can we do this? Can we be the one? And I do believe we're going to have to go back to the Moonlight, back to the Protect until we figure out what we're going to do. Maybe just get back to full HP. We go all in on a Sleep Powder, but Bayonet has Insomnia, and I am just so disappointed in myself. I literally have the movesets and abilities right here, and I get so flustered that I completely botch this. On top of that, we get crit by Psychic. I have never been punished so hard in these last 2 videos by the Kingdra and by Phoebe. The critical hits, the freezes, the disrespect, and I just go all in. Slateport fades away with a Petal Dance. Good night. I'm going to need a break. I'm going to need to recoup, re-strategize. We lost 1. We have 3 more fights. Phoebe's gone, and let's just take 5. All right, so Phoebe had her way with us, and now it is time to take on Glacia, the 3rd member of the Elite Four, primarily Ice-type Pokemon, and we have the Breloom, who has the Stab super effective fighting types. And the game plan here is we're just going to open with Slateport or Vileplume, put the Glalie or Celio, whichever one comes out first, put them to sleep, and ramp up with the Breloom. I think 2 bulk ups will be enough to get the job done. In my other run, I believe it was the Ruby run recently, the Walrein actually held on when I attacked it with a Stab super effective Brick Break from the Rustboro. Even if the attack stat is busted, you got to get some bulk ups in there, and this way we'll be able to do that. So Celio is asleep. We can go for Leech Seed to try to heal back, or we could just go all in with the bulk up. We get 1, and if we can get 2, I'm pretty sure we outspeed every single Pokemon, and that'll be it. So Rustboro plus 2 attack, plus 2 defense, and is pretty fast. I think we got some speed EVs in there as well, but the Celio drops. So that is 1 down. 4 to go. Another Celio comes down. That should be a parting gift. Beautiful stuff there. Another Brick Break rains down. The Chubby Walrus falls, or the Seal, I should say. And there is the Chubby Walrus. She is coming out with all of her glory. We're not going to waste any time. We're going for the Stab Super Effective Brick Break, and it is enough to fell the ace. Beautiful stuff there. And now there's only 2 Pokemon left. The Glalie comes down. Another Brick Break from yours truly, Rustboro. We swept Sydney with our Breloom, and now we are sweeping Glacia with her as well. She is a staple. She is here to stay. She is now tossing the MVP crown back and forth with the Vileplume. That just leaves Drake and Champion Wallace for the final video. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.